Now, many of you already know that for the Q2 of 2023, NEO delivered just over 23,500, which was on the lower side or closer to the lower side of their guidance, because you know that as they announced their Q1 earnings, they had said that they gave the deliveries guidance for Q2 of between 23 and 25,000. So to see NEO coming out or to deliver 23,000 or just over 23,500 deliveries for their Q2, it was of course on the lower side of their guidance, though the good thing is that they were within their guidance. Now for Q2, you will know that of course majority of their revenues will come out from those 23,000 or just over 23,500 deliveries they reported for of course their Q2 or Q2. So I'm very excited today to finally reveal to you that NEO today announced that they will be giving us those earnings on the 29th of August 2023. So on the 29th we'll be getting the Q2 earnings, of which, like I said, we already know the deliveries they of course reported for that quarter. And one of the good things that will be interesting to watch, of course, is if weather will beat the analyst expectations of the revenues they generated for the quarter and the earnings per share. But over and above that, what will be of most importance on those earnings will be the guidance that they will issue for their Q3. As you know that Q3, it is a quarter where NEO, it is expected to do exceptionally well in terms of deliveries. Now, of course, before we dig deep into this video, you already know that this video is an entertainment video and not a professional financial advice video. Now, I would appreciate if you can just hit the likes button if you are enjoying the content that I'm giving you about NEO's upcoming Q2 earnings, which today, as seen on the screen on NEO's official website, NEO announced that they are coming, or they will officially do those earnings on the 29th of August, which is in the next couple of days. So I'm very excited, and like I said, the most key things to watch there will be if whether NEO beats, of course, analyst expectations on both the revenues they generate and the earnings per share. Gross margins, chances are very high that they will still be on single digits, also looking at the kind of deliveries they generated for the quarter. But the guidance is one of the things that will be very important, because it will drive us, or it will indicate to us the kind of deliveries we are to expect for Q3. Because Q3, you will know that for July already NEO has broken a delivery record, and we saw them delivering over 20,400 cars, which they are expected to continue with that momentum. So the guidance on those Q3 earnings will be very important, because they will guide us on the kind of deliveries that NEO expects to deliver. But personally, I believe that on the minimum, we are to expect NEO to deliver a minimum of 60,000 vehicles, meaning that the lower guidance of NEO during the earnings, I am expecting a lower guidance of around 60,000, and that will mean that NEO should deliver at least an average of 20,000 vehicles for the last 2 months of Q3, since we already know that for July they delivered over 20,400. So if you are enjoying this kind of content, hit that like button, comment and subscribe, because on this channel NEO is one of the stocks that I discuss a lot, because I believe their fundamentals and its future their future prospects. I believe that though the share price pre-market today is trading down over 4%, it is still a very good company. It's not what NEO is doing, but obviously they're just being punished by the kind of current economic conditions that we are witnessing in China. This is a company that one way or the other it will do very well, because their fundamentals continue growing. I mean, when I started buying NEO back in July of 2020, they were delivering, or in Q3 of 2020 they delivered over 12,000 deliveries for the total Q3 back in 2020. And right now we are talking about NEO delivering a minimum of 60,000 cars for their Q3. So the fundamentals of NEO have grown, or the kind of deliveries that NEO is able to produce on a month to month has grown, which is something that makes me to continue remaining bullish, long and strong onto NEO, because their fundamentals continue growing. This is a company that we are seeing growth, which is something that excites me as the new investors and makes me to have no doubt that come 2024 NEO will be that company that will turn to profitability. I cannot wait to see that. So without wasting any more of your time, analysts for the upcoming Q2 earnings, they're expecting total revenues of 9.18 billion Chinese yen or RMB, but with the earnings per share, they're expecting an earnings per share of 2.98 RMB, which obviously, do I think they will thresh that? I think it will only depend on those earnings, but with the revenues, I think chances are high that they might beat analyst expectations, because you will know that in Q2, NIO had started selling the, of course, EC7, which is quite a vehicle that is supposed to boost, of course, their revenues or their average kind of revenues they generate per car. So I'm hoping for the best, but as for the gross margins, hopefully also that becomes better, because like I said, NIO, you will know that one of the things that made the gross margins or in the Q1 to be so low is because majority of the vehicles that NIO sold during their, of course, Q1 was the ET5. ET5 was the model that was selling big numbers, and that was the cheapest car that NIO was currently selling at the time. But in the Q2 earnings, you'll know that there is the new NIO EC7, which obviously it can boost, of course, the gross margins that NIO generated for the quarter, which personally I believe it might give a little bit of boost into the gross margin. So yes, those are also important, or the EPS, earnings per share, total revenues, gross margins are some of the most important key numbers you should look or will be looking into, because I believe they are very, very important. Otherwise, over and above all these things there, of course, the cash and cash equivalents, or the available cash at hand, it is another, of course, a number that one would really like to look at to see if whether it's increasing or decreasing, because it offers the highest level of liquidity, or a company with tons of cash offers a highest level of liquidity in terms of running short-term obligations and operation expenses. So I'll also be monitoring that, but otherwise, nonetheless, I believe that Q3 guidance are going to come out very hot, and I expect NIO to at least have a minimum guidance or minimum lower guidance of 60,000, because I personally believe that the times where we see NIO delivering those 10,000 are now past or over us, and now it is an era where we are seeing on a low side NIO delivering just 20,000. I think now the previous 10,000 is now the 20,000, or that kind of 10,000 deliveries we're seeing. Those days are over, and now worst case scenario on a month, NIO will fight to deliver at least 20,000, which is why I'm saying worst case scenario for the NIO might come and issue a minimum guidance of around 60,000. Otherwise, with all that, guys, I just thought I'd just give you this quick updates. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. And also subscribe, don't forget to hit or click that notification bell, so at least to get notified by YouTube every time I drop a new content. Otherwise, that's all from me, and I wish you nothing but the best in your stock market investing journey. And before you buy NIO for the very first time, please do your own due diligence, so that at least you can be comfortable as you are investing onto this stock. I mean, NIO share price right now is falling sharply. There's no doubt about that. I mean, pre-market already today it's down almost 5%, which is something that is not good. But obviously, I think with time, the more NIO proves to investors that they can now deliver over 20,000 monthly deliveries, or deliver over 20,000 on a month-to-month, it is when we are going to see, of course, the share price starting to also recover. Otherwise, that's all from me, and I wish you nothing but the best in your stock market investing journey, and God bless you all.